As Joan said, like Ralphie from A Christmas Story, you'll shoot your eye out, Ralphie. I've been assigned a theme by Jim. How has being a part of Buff sustained me through these difficult times? My new favorite saying is that you have to avoid people like the plague, because they are, in fact, the plague. I looked out my window Saturday morning and only saw deer, squirrels, and birds, and I realized how much I prefer seeing animals other than humans from my windows. Time, which is a way to mark change, seems to have slowed or even stopped for me during these past 10 months of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many annual or periodic rituals and appointments have been skipped and even stripped of their importance. This COVID standstill time allows for a lot of egocentric navel gazing, which for me has been about my love-hate relationship with the human race. People, can't live with them, can't live without them. I enjoyed a wonderful Christmas at home with only Amy, Emily, and Eliza, my family, immediate family, preparing food, eating and drinking together, and taking turns with one of Eliza's presents, a karaoke machine. I didn't bring out my box of solstice and Christmas CDs or send out any cards. Not one present did I send to my extended family, though I did deliver about 50 presents to a dozen of my social work clients. And not even a phone call was made, except to briefly speak to Amy's mother, whose husband died in the fall and who last month was moved into an assisted living apartment due to her rapid descent into dementia. For the most part, I have not even acknowledged the changes experienced within my Buff family during this time of COVID. Deaths, surgeries, joys, concerns. But please know that I have felt every one which has been brought to my attention. People create their families in many ways. They join groups of other people which support their reality. One way that Buff has sustained me through these difficult times is that it is comprised of a group of people who, for the vast part, support or at least accept me and my reality. A reality which, as I believe for every other Buffer, came into being independent of Buff itself. Our personal realities were not created by Buff, nor imposed on any of us by Buff. I have not heard any Buffers who may be angry at China or angry at the virus call COVID-19 the China plague. I have not heard any Buffers who may be upset at the closing of indoor events or large gatherings call the virus a hoax. I have not heard any Buffers who may have lost jobs or income due to the measures taken by Governor Whitmer to slow the spread of COVID-19 call Michigan a communist state and call for her removal from office. I have heard these views expressed many times by many people, some of whom are friends, and some of whom, displayed in the media, are on their deathbeds still calling COVID a hoax. Personal freedoms and rights have moved into the forefront of our nation's dialogue. Should people be put out of business or lose their jobs because it is likely, but not certain, that close personal contact with those businesses will cause other people to die? Does our government, or any government, have the right to shut down parts of our economy as a health and safety measure? But these personal freedoms and rights go a step further, which is frightening to me. Millions of people, millions, are willing to align themselves and their thoughts to the most far-fetched, illogical, contradictory, physically impossible ideas they can imagine. And they are emboldened in their beliefs because they can find fake news and social media outlets to support their positions. This leads me to a right which is not itemized in our Constitution, but seems to be accepted by all of us: the right to be delusional. Now, this is a topic that requires more time and discussion, but it does lead me back to the premise of my assignment. How has being a part of Buff sustained me through these difficult times? I believe there is a greater reality outside of our individual selves, which we all share. Each one of you, and Buff as a whole, act as a barometer in my life, helping me to measure the low and high pressures of humanity. I've used you as an audience to release some of those built up anger pressures. And you continue to sustain me through these difficult times by everything you all say and do. Each one of your words and actions continues to confirm to me that we do share a common reality and that none of us, in particular me, are delusional. And I am forever grateful for that. Thank you.